What's up, reefers? Welcome to Alex Pour Corals. This is Alex Wilson, your host, and I have more of the good and the bad and the ugly. This is where I show you lots of the little bit of the good, a whole bunch of the bad, and a whole bunch of the ugly. So here we go. And let's check out. There's the main display. Start with the quarantine system here, and let's check them out. So one thing here, I look at the clams were full of the copepods as well as the pyramid snails, right? So what I did was I took them out and cleaned them really good with a toothbrush, one by one. Took them out and use a little bit of purified water on them, which is harmless for the clams, and brushed off the copepods. And there's still new ones already on it, but they're everywhere. But anyway, at least I got them off of the areas of the mantle, around the mantle, and certainly the pyramid scales is the main concern. So I'll keep an eye on them and brush off. Well, toss them down the drain. Obviously, those darn white little pyramid snails, those are the guys that eat the clams. So they're especially active at night. Now I was surprised to see them. I was just filming. I hadn't even seen them until I was filming it yesterday, and then I noticed them. So you can see. I also put on there the little red rocks down there. Those are little frag. Real reef frag, like frag rocks. So, and they're waiting for them to latch on there. So see, now they're opened up a little bit better. Now they're not being irritated like they were. So I keep an eye on them. And this Squamosa here, this one he has attached to the frag rocks, so that's good. So that'll keep him much more easier to, he's happier and easier to maneuver them. Even though they're still constantly kind of, playing bumper clams and hitting themselves up against the glass right here and everything. But meat coral's doing good. Goniopora is doing okay. The main one, big one there is looking okay. Of course, the big middle one there, I had to took that one out. And that's it. Yeah, Fungus hanging out on top. So I got him up there on that little magnetic frag rack. So me looking forward to getting him in the main display. Power head's full of algae right there. So check this side out. And yep, purple rhodactis looking good. Orange rhodactis, Cinerina, Stylophorus dying. Dead, closed up Stylophorus, so it got a little messed up. I don't think it's gonna come back. It's just, I'll keep an eye on it though. And let's check out the other side. Check out what my mushroom garden's up to. See if they're recovering from the no-pox overdose. And yep, the red ones, see, they're still a little small, but the red discosomas are slowly recovering. See, especially back there, that's the whole clam right there. Now a whole mysterious clam that I got. It was supposed to be discosoma rock, ended up being one huge clam, so there it is. And blue mushroom's about the same. Blue discosoma as the red one, so you'll bounce back a little bit from that no pox overdose. But everybody else seems to be the same. Just check out the main display. And same. So, like I was saying last time, I'm gonna I have been dosing the nitrate and phosphates to get it up, but and I've had consistent nitrates and phosphates, and you get lots of consistent browns, and especially the browns, green algae. So I'm gonna increase the dosing. Well, increase the feeding instead, just to try to get up to a more natural level. Well, naturally getting the phosphate and nitrate up. I don't know how much the corals are actually using the nitrate and phosphate itself, or whether they're actually uptaking, what I'm feeding the reefroids or the benepets directly, or are they, absorbing the nutrients at some secondary stage, as some form of inorganic, dissolved inorganics at some point, or whether it's just they're absorbing, a lot of the bacteria that eventually get colonized on the coral itself, or, through the water. Although I have heard that, in the water column in the Reef Aquarium, there's mainly only one species that's actively prominent, at least according to the aquabiomics, I believe he was talking about. One thing I wanted to talk about today was the trying to feed the coral nutrition. So this is one of the things, in actual feeding, and not very many people talk about what they're feeding, and certainly not the exact levels of what they're feeding. And so, with this one here, I've got in addition to the nori here, to the yellow tangs, I'm feeding them, probably, it's just like, he's eating like 3 or 4 like thumbnails worth of nori in each of the tangs each. So he's probably eating like 3 pieces right there, 3 or 4 pieces, and the tang on the bottom is like 3 pieces. And I throw in a couple pieces of flake for the cleaner shrimp. And so then on the reefroids, what I've been doing is, giving them what is the recommended dosage on the reefroids. And so on this one, it is it was 1/4 of a teaspoon. So 1/4 of a teaspoon of reefroids, and I've done that, and the nutrients have gone down. Well, the nitrates and phosphates have gone down, with all the algae growth, and so I haven't been able to keep it up. So I'm gonna bump that up to twice that. So I'm going up from 1/4. I'm going up to 1/2 of a teaspoon of reefroids. But I've also been adding the benepets. So with the benepets, what I'm gonna do is that I'm adding equal amounts. I used to add just like reefroids one day and then the benepets the next day, but I'm gonna switch it over to just equal amounts. So I'm gonna add 1/2 of a teaspoon of reefroids, and then I'm also adding 1/2 of a teaspoon of benepets, and see what that does, because the benepets, I don't know, it's interesting because it seems to bring down the nitrates and phosphates, and so I come to conclude that it probably has a carbon source in it, which it does according to the ingredients. If you look, I think it lists cornstarch, so that it has a little bit, I believe, of that carbon source there. That's just additional it could be food that you're adding in there. It's just that compared to the other dry foods like the reefroids, it brings it down. So I'm gonna try doing that, adding just the same amounts of each one. That way they're getting because the reefroids has all kinds of little bits and pieces in it. Like the shrimp will eat too, and so supposedly feeds the whole aquarium itself. Whereas the reefroids, it doesn't do that, as far as like the shrimp getting little bits, and if you have some smaller fish, they'll get a whole bunch of bits of food off of that. So I think I just hit all the bases with that. See how that goes so far as the nutrients, you know, and the small polyp corals in here. So at least that's what my theory is on that. I'm gonna give it a try. Anyway, let's check out the elegance corals doing okay. Just fed them a couple days ago. And same thing with the candy cane right there. Goniaster on the back. And then there's a green splatter one up here in front. It's really small, but yeah, the Duncan, Gonioporus closed. And see if I can get the branching Hydnophorus more fuzzy than usual, so that's a good sign. And the clam looking normal. Yellow tank's ready to eat. So SPS over here is still all closed up. The Samo corals are closed up. Polyp closed up. So hopefully it's probably this. All the browns, I believe, dying off and everything. It's probably that. Alright guys, so I guess that's it for this update, and I will check you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.